Chonkwon expresses sky, the root of everything in the universe and the universe itself, and the imagery world that has its being in the sky. The progress line of Chonkwon Pumse that represents the infinite potential of the sky that expresses creation, change, and completion is the Korean vowel U. We will now take a look at the key moves of Chonkwon Pumse. Chonkwon Pumse consists of 7 key moves, namely 밤주먹 치 찌르기, 날개 벽이, 휘둘러 맞기, 휘둘러 잡아당기기, 금강 옆지르기, 태산 밀기, and 찾은 발. We will now take a closer look at each of the key moves of Chonkwon Pumse. 밤주먹 쥐지르기 is a technique to thrust and strike a target at chin elevation from the waist up using the knuckle fist. The elbows should face downward, and the armpits should touch the body. Be careful not to let the elbow open outward, creating space under the arm. 날개 벽이 should be performed slowly. Start with 겹손. Raise the hand to the front of the chest, then inhale. When both hands are in front of the chest, pull the wrists back. Push both palms outward and exhale. Remember that the wrists should not straighten when pushing the hands. 휘둘러 맞기 is a technique to draw a big circle with the arm and block by swinging the outer wrist. This is a soft move, so perform the move without disconnect and make sure not to pause abruptly. 휘둘러 잡아당기기 is a technique where you open the hand and draw a big circle, block by swinging, then pull an opponent's arm. This move must also be performed smoothly in motion like 휘둘러 맞기. Start with 작은 돌적기 to block the face and thrust. Thrusting in the 옆으로 넓혀 서기 posture is called 옆지르기. Both fists must not start ji르기 from the waist. Start with both hands from the waist and perform 태산 밀기 with the palm of your hand. Push the palm of your hand forward to lower abdomen elevation on the same side as the front foot with the tip of the hand facing downward. Push the palm hand forward to philtrum elevation on the same side as the hind foot with the tip of the hand facing upward. Both hands must form a straight line with the center line, and your arms should straighten naturally. Be careful not to let your shoulders rise. For wen 뒷굽이, 자준발 is a technique where you move while your center is placed on your left leg. Maintain the 뒷굽이 posture by pulling your left foot the moment your right foot pushes and sets forward about a half step. Do not set your foot forward after pulling your hind leg. These are the 7 key moves of Chonkwon Pumse. We will now look at the moves in succession, connecting each move. The key moves of Chonkwon first part consist of 겹손 준비, 날개 펴기, 두 밤주먹 찌르기, 왼 손날 비틀어 맞기, 왼 hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, 오른 손날 비틀어 맞기, 오른 hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, 왼 손날 비틀어 맞기, 왼 hand 감아 잡아 굴며, and 옆차기 and 왼 아래 맞기, and 오른 찌르기. When performing 두 밤주먹 찌르기, followed by 날개 펴기, lower your arms and place your hands in front of your lower abdomen. Draw a circle across your chest, moving above your head, and draw a circle by scattering both hands sideways. Move the hand to both the waist with the back of the hand facing upward and perform 밤주먹 찌르기. When performing 날개 펴기, scatter an opponent's attempt to grab or attack with a headbutt by using both hands. Then strike an opponent under the chin or the lower part of the face with 밤주먹 찌르기. 비틀어 맞기 is a technique used to block with the hand opposite the foot set forward by slightly twisting the body. In Chonkwon Pumse, pull the hind leg lightly and block by twisting the torso. This technique enables a quick and strong counterattack since you can attack by unraveling the twisted torso. When performing wen hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, move your center forward while coiling and grabbing an opponent's wrist by twisting your left hand outward. Then move the body closer to the arm and pull with a strong force. Perform slowly, maximizing the force used. When performing the opposite 오른 hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, twist the right hand outward. When performing 오른 손아 비틀어 맞기, pull your right foot slightly forward. Pull your foot and move your center slightly forward. When connecting wen hand 감아 잡아 굴기, 옆차기 and wen 아래 맞기, pull the left arm in the opposite direction and perform 옆차기 with a shout. When performing 오른 찌르기, set your foot without any change in elevation. Cautions for Chonkwon first part. Taking a closer look. When pushing both hands during 날개 펴기, be careful not to let the wrists straighten. 두 밤주먹 찌르기 must be connected without pause. When performing 왼손아 비틀어 맞기, the foot must not move outside the body during 앞굽이. When performing wen hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, do not lift the left elbow outward. When performing 비틀어 맞기, head elevation must not change. When performing 오른 hand 감아 잡아 굴며 찌르기, do not lift the right elbow outward. We will now practice the moves of Chonkwon first part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Chonkwon's second part consist of 왼 안팔목 고도로 바깥맞기, 휘 들어맞고 지르기, 왼 hand 초점 내며 잡아당겨 오른 지르기, 오른 안팔목 고도로 바깥맞기, 오른 hand 초점 내며 잡아당겨 왼 지르기, and 오른 hand 초점 내며 잡아당겨 오른 지르기. When performing 왼 안팔목 고도로 바깥맞기, elevation of your right arm should be the same as your left elbow, but horizontal. Be careful not to let the tip of your left fist rise over your shoulder. When swinging, blocking, and thrusting the torso, turn your left arm over inward during 고도로 안팔목 바깥맞기 and lower it to the inside of your body. Then swing above the head and block like 얼굴맞기. Pull to the back left, then connect to 지르기. When connecting your 왼 hand 쫓아내며 잡아당기기 to 오른 지르기, open your left hand, draw a big circle to swing and block, then pull an opponent's arm. This move must be connected smoothly while moving forward with minimal change in head elevation. Cautions for Chonkwon's second part. Taking a closer look. When performing 휘 들어맞고 지르기, the moves must not be disconnected or rigid. Concentrate on connecting them smoothly. The same goes for the 왼 hand 쫓아내며 잡아당겨 오른 지르기 move. Do not disconnect or pause the moves. Connect them smoothly. We will now practice the moves of Chonkwon's second part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Chonkwon's third part consist of 오른 안팔목 비틀어맞기, 왼 지르기, 오른 앞차기 and 오른 지르기, 오른 손나 고도로 아래맞기, and 오른 안팔목 바깥맞기 and 고도로 아래맞기. When performing 오른 안팔목 비틀어맞기, draw a circle with the right hand inside the torso and block with one motion. The upper body should twist 45 degrees. When taking the first half step with 자전팔, during the connection of 오른 안팔목 바깥맞기 and 고도로 아래맞기, perform 오른 안팔목 몸통맞기. Strike the forearm moving upward with a four-fingered gathered left palm. When taking the second half step, lower the right elbow again and perform 아래맞기. This time, strike the right forearm with the left palm and clench the fist. These moves must be connected quickly. Cautions for Chonkwon's third part. Taking a closer look. When performing 오른 안팔목 비틀어맞기, beware that your center will weaken if your upper body twists excessively. The same goes for 왼 지르기. Do not excessively twist the upper body. When connecting 오른 안팔목 바깥맞기 and 고도로 아래맞기, pull the hind foot first and do not set the front foot forward. We will now practice the moves of Chonkwon's third part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Chonkwon's fourth part consist of 오른 금감 옆지르기, 뛰어 360도 돌아 표적차기, and 금강 오른 옆지르기, 변손 외산틀 아래맞기, 변손 외산틀 아래맞기, 태산 밀기, and 태산 밀기. When performing 끙강 옆지르기, start with 오른 작은 돌적위. Block your face and perform ji르기. When connecting 뛰어 360도 돌아 표적차기 and 끙강 오른 옆지르기, shift your weight on your right foot for airborne 표적차기 and jump in the air by kicking the ground. Then, twist your body to the left and spin 360 degrees mid-air. The left foot will set on the ground while the body is spinning in mid-air. Kick the palm of your left hand, the target, with your right foot blade before setting your foot. Your left foot must not touch the ground before kicking the target. Start with 오른 작은 돌적위. Block your face. Then connect with ji르기. When performing 태산밀기, turn your body to the left. Get up by pulling your left foot, then assume the 모아서기 posture. Place both hands in front of the lower abdomen. Raise them above the head, then lower them, drawing a circle on both sides. Bend the elbows at torso elevation. Place them in front of the solar plexus. Bring the palms of your hands close to your body, right hand facing downward, left hand facing upward. Set your right foot forward. Push the palms of your hands below and above forward by extending your elbows while assuming the 오른 범서기 posture. Perform the more slowly, exerting force in the lower abdomen. Push the left palm of your hand to philtrum elevation. The right palm of your hand below to the lower abdomen elevation. Place both hands again, like gyopson, in front of the lower abdomen. Raise them above your head and lower them, drawing a circle on both sides. Bend the elbows at torso elevation. Place them in front of the solar plexus, then bend back the wrists. This time, perform the move in the opposite direction. Bring the palm of your hands close to your body, with the right hand facing upward and the left hand facing downward. Set your left foot forward. Push the palms of your hands below and above forward by extending your elbows while assuming the 왼 범서기 posture. Like the previous move, perform the move slowly, exerting force in the lower abdomen. Push the right palm of your hand above to philtrum elevation, the left palm of your hand below to lower abdomen elevation. Cautions for Chonkwon fourth part. Taking a closer look. When performing 오른 금강 옆 지르기, do not perform ji르기 with both fists next to the waist. When connecting 뛰어 360도 돌아 표적차기 and 금강 오른 옆 지르기, the left foot must not touch the ground before kicking the target, and ji르기 must not start from the waist. When performing the first 태산밀기, set the right foot first. When performing the second 태산밀기, set the left foot first. We will now practice the moves of Chonkwon fourth part in succession while watching the video. This concludes the training for Chonkwon Pumse. We will take another look at all the moves and master Pumse. We have looked at the key moves of Chonkwon Pumse and provided thorough explanations for each move and things to watch out for. Be mindful of the spirit of Chonkwon that embodies the infinite sky with training, and you will be able to master the intricate moves accurately. We will see you again in the Hansu Pumse video. Thanks for watching. The progress line of Hansu Pumse that represents the unity harmonized through the movement of attack and defense expressed in a diagonal formation is the character Su, which means water. We will now take a look at the key moves of Hansu Pumse. Hansu Pumse consists of 6 key moves, namely 손날 등 해점 맞기, 매주먹 양 옆구리 앉히기, 고도로 칼채비, 안팔목 아래 표적 맞기, 손날 꿍강 맞기, and 곁다리 서기. We will now take a closer look at each of the key moves of Hansu Pumse. 손날 등 해점 맞기 is a technique to cross the 2 hands in front of the chest and block by scattering them sideways. When performing 몸통 해점 맞기, the tip of the hand must not rise above the shoulder. Attach your armpits to your body to make them firm, and the tip of your hand and elbow must be placed in the same line. Cross the arm of the forward foot from the outside. 매주먹 양 옆구리 앉히기 is a technique to strike both sides of the waist outside in, with both fists elevated to about 1 fist length above the shoulder. Attach the armpit firmly to the body to concentrate force. The fist should be placed slightly over the elbow. The elbows should be close to the torso. Be careful not to let the fists rise excessively. 고도로 칼제비 is a technique used to block an opponent's attack by pressing with the palm of your hand and attack an opponent's neck with an arc fist. Strike an opponent with the arched part of the arc fist. Concentrate and transfer force by making the surface area of the target small. The elbow of the arm that performed 칼제비 should lightly touch the back of the assisting hand and straighten the wrist so it doesn't bend. 안팔목 아래 표적 맞기 is used to create a target at shoulder elevation with the arc fist of the hand performing 아래맞기, where the inner wrist touches between the thumb and index finger to block. It is important to fix the hand acting as a target in front of the lower abdomen and only move the arm blocking the lower body. When performing 손날 꿍강 맞기, the hand blade and center line should be aligned. Be careful not to let the elbow of the arm blocking the face rise first. 곁다리 서기 is a standing posture where one leg acts as support. The opposite big toe touches the ground in the middle of the back of the supporting foot blade, and the rear sole is slightly raised. Both feet slightly touch each other and stand with the knees facing forward. The knees should not be apart. Be careful not to let the upper body swerve forward. These are the 6 key moves of Hansu Pumse. We will now look at the moves in succession, connecting each move. The key moves of Hansu first part consist of 손날 등 헤쳐막기, 매주목 앉히기, 물로 디뎌 외산 들막기, 오른 찌르기, 물로 디뎌 외산 들막기, 왼 찌르기, 물로 디뎌 외산 들막기, 오른 찌르기, and 손날 등 헤쳐막기. Because you set the left foot when you start, you must perform 손날 등 헤쳐막기 by switching hands from 겹손, so the left arm crosses outside. When performing 매주목 앉히기, the 2 hammer fists strike both sides of the waist outside in, while the armpits touch the body. When connecting to 외산 들막기, the blocking arm should move past the face to protect it. After completing 외산 들막기, place both feet on the same line slightly tilted. Move and set the opposite foot facing the same direction as your gaze. Then connect to 몸돌아 디디며 찌르기. Cautions for Hansu first part. Taking a closer look. When connecting from 외산 들막기 to 찌르기, be careful not to change elevation. It is important to perform all these motions naturally without disconnect. We will now practice the moves of Hansu first part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Hansu second part consist of 고도로 아금손 앞치기, 두 주먹 젖혀 찌르기, 왼 아금손 펴져 아래 맞기, 손날 끔강 맞기, 학다리 서기 작은 돌저귀, 좁차기 and 제비품 앉히기, and 오른 앞차기 and 뚱주먹 앞치기. When performing 고도로 아금손 앞치기, press and block with the right palm of your hand, and perform 앞치기 with the left arc fist at the same time. The left elbow should touch the top of the back of the right hand. In 곁다리 서기, the hind leg disrupts the motion from the leg that ran and set first, maintains a center, then transfer force to the fist. When performing 왼 벼적 아래맞기, strike as if inserting the right inner wrist into the left arc fist. Do not move the left hand and block with the right inner wrist. When setting back with 손날 끔강 맞기, be careful not to change elevation. Change direction for 학다리 서기 작은 돌저귀 90 degrees. The move and the spin must complete at the same time. When performing 앞차기, both hands should be placed naturally inside the body to avoid any inconvenience when kicking. Perform 찌찌기 with the forward kicking foot and stop momentum with the left foot. After achieving balance, transfer force to the fist and connect to 뚱주먹 앞치기 along with a shout. Cautions for Hansu second part. Taking a closer look. When performing 두주먹 젖혀 찌르기, be careful not to let the armpits move away from the body. When performing 왼 벼적 아래맞기, pay attention to the direction of your gaze, just like the previous move. Perform 오른 앞차기 through organically moving the upper and lower body. Do not use only the left leg when kicking, and do not kick above the head. We will now practice the moves of Hansu second part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Hansu third part consist of 왼 손아 옆치기, 오른 팔날 등 벼적차기, 오른 팔꿈치 벼적치기, 거들어 오른 아금손 앞치기, 두 주먹 젖혀찌르기, 오른 아금손 벼적 아래 맞기, and 손날 금강 맞기. When performing 왼 손아 옆치기, the lower body should stand firm and make use of the torque of the spin. It is important that your eyes point in the direction of progression. 오른 팔날 등 벼적치기 is a technique that uses the back of the foot blade and is performed in succession with 벼적치기. After performing 벼적치기, turn to the direction of progression and stand with the feet gathered together. Then, continue with 거들어 칼제비. In 곁다리 서기, the hind leg stops the moment of the leg that ran and set first. Maintains a center, then transfers force to the fist. When performing 벼적 아래맞기, fix the right arc fist. Then strike and block like you're inserting the left inner wrist. When setting your foot back with 손아 금강 맞기, be careful not to change elevation. Cautions for Hansu third part. Taking a closer look. When performing 벼적차기, be mindful to use the back of the foot blade rather than the sole. Also, remember that the target must not move during 벼적 아래맞기. We will now practice the moves of Hansu third part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Hansu fourth part consist of 학다리 서기 작은 돌적기, 오른 옆차기, 제비품 안치기, 왼 앞차기, 왼 등주먹 앞치기, 오른 손나 옆치기, 왼 벼적차기, and 왼 팔꿈치 벼적치기. Change direction 90 degrees when performing 학다리 서기 작은 돌적기. Change direction at the same time while assuming the hakdari sogi posture. When connecting to apchagi, both hands should be placed naturally inside the body to easily assist the kick. Next, perform chichiki with the front foot that kicked. Stop motion with the left foot and achieve balance. Then, transfer force to the back of the left fist along with a shout. When performing 오른 손나 옆치기, the lower body should stand firm and make use of the torque of the spin. It is important that your eyes point in the direction of progression. When performing 왼 foot 벼적차기, use the back of the foot blade, then connect naturally to 벼적치기. Cautions for Hansu fourth part. Taking a closer look. Remember that you must use the back of the foot blade rather than the sole when performing 벼적차기. Remember that the arm on the same side as the set foot must be on the outside. This concludes the training for Hansu Pumse. We will take another look at all the moves and master Pumse. We have looked at the key moves of Hansu Pumse and provided thorough explanations for each move and things to watch out for. You will be able to cultivate the spirit to embrace all and harmony embodied in Hansu if you continue and repeat this training. We will see you again in the Ilyeo Pumse video. Thanks for watching. The progress line of Ilyeo Pumse is the character Man, which means fill fat, and is composed of moves to cultivate isometry and equilibrium. We will now take a look at the key moves of Ilyeo Pumse. Ilyeo Pumse consists of 4 key moves, namely 외산트 옆차기, 엇걸어 얼굴 막기, and 두 손 벼 비틀어 잡아당기기. 뒤어 옆차기, and 오금서기. We will now take a closer look at each of the key moves of Ilyeo Pumse. 외산트 옆차기 is a technique to cross the 2 arms in front of the chest and slowly perform 안팔목 바깥막기 and 매주목 바깥지기 simultaneously. Both hands and arms must move in unison. 엇걸어 얼굴 막기 is a move to raise the arms from the right back, then block by diagonally crossing both arms. Both wrists should cross in front of the forehead. When blocking, place your left hand outside and use your right hand to cross your wrists diagonally. Open the hands and twist your right hand inward, your left hand outward so the bottom part of your wrists touch each other. To pull an opponent's wrist and thrust or twist their wrist. When performing 뒤어 옆차기, stamp the ground with the front kicking leg. Then pull the opposite knee upward to jump and kick sideways. Pull the back of the opposite foot blade on the inside of the kicking leg. Then bend your knee and land after the kick. Be careful not to perform the kick after the body has already twisted. 오금서기 is a posture to stand by placing the back of the foot blade in the crook behind the supporting knee. The knees should face forward. These are the 4 key moves of Ilyeo Pumse. We will now look at the moves in succession, connecting each move. The key moves of Ilyeo first part consist of 왼손아 거들어맞기, 오른 지르기, 금강맞기. 왼손아 거들어맞기, 오른 지르기, and 왼편손굿 세워 지르기. When connecting from 손아 거들어맞기 to jirugi during Ilyeo first part, pull the fist of the assisting arm to the back, then perform jirugi. Perform gumgangmaki slowly exerting force on the lower abdomen. Run and set with the right foot. The right foot should set first and touch the ground. Then, complete 편성끝 세워지르기 the moment the back of the left foot blade touches the crook behind the right knee. The back of the hind foot blade stops momentum by touching the crook and transfers the force to the tip of the hands. We will now connect these moves in succession. The key moves of Ilyeo's second part consist of 왼 외산틀 옆차기, 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기, 오른 지르기, 금강 맞기. 왼 손아 고들어 맞기, 오른 지르기, and 오른 편성끝 세워 지르기. 왼 외산틀 옆차기 starts with both arms crossing in front of the chest in the 오근서기 posture. Your left and right arms are crossed from the inside and outside respectively. Your right arm performs 얼굴 바깥맞기. The left arm draws a circle outward like you're performing 매주목 바깥치기. Then, perform 옆차기 with the left leg and arm positioned parallel. When performing 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기, cross both arms diagonally from the right back and block upward. Cross the arms diagonally and block upward with the right arm on top of the left arm. When blocking, the wrists should be crossed diagonally, with the left arm on the outside and right arm on the inside. Open your hands. Twist your right hand inward and your left hand outward, so the bottom part of your wrists touch each other. Then, pull and thrust or twist an opponent's wrist. Pull the assisting fist to the back during 손아 고들어 맞기, then connect to 지르기. Run and set with the right foot, and when performing 고들어 오른 편성끝 세워 지르기, the right foot should set first and touch the ground. Then complete 편성끝 세워 지르기 the moment the back of the left foot blade touches the crook behind the knee. Cautions for Ilyeo's second part. Taking a closer look. The tip of the open hand used during 고들어 편성끝 세워 지르기 is the left for Ilyeo first part and the right for Ilyeo second part. Remember that all moves of Ilyeo Pumse must naturally connect. We will now practice the moves of Ilyeo's second part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Ilyeo's third part consist of 왼 외산틀 옆차기, 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기, 오른 지르기, 금강 맞기. And 두주먹 허리. Some of the moves from Ilyeo's second part are repeated in Ilyeo's third part. Be mindful of the previous explanations and practice the 외산틀 옆차기 again. Start with the arm crossing in front of the chest at the 오금서기 posture. Your left and right arms are crossed from the inside and outside respectively. Your right arm performs 얼굴 바깥맞기. Your left arm draws a circle outward as if to perform 매주목 바깥치기. Then perform 옆차기 with the left leg and arm parallel. The following move is also performed as explained in Ilyeo's second part. When performing 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기, cross both arms diagonally from right back and block upward. Cross the wrists diagonally in front of the forehead. When blocking, cross the wrists with the left arm outside and the right arm inside. just like 두 손뼉 빗들어 잡아당기기. Open the hands and twist your right hand inward and your left hand outward, so the bottom part of your wrist touch each other, to pull an opponent's wrist and thrust or twist their wrist. When performing 두주먹 허리, move your center with your right foot. Then turn 90 degrees to the left using the right ball of your foot as an axis. Next, slowly straighten the body and pull the fists next to the back on both sides. Cautions for Ilyeo third part. Taking a closer look. When assuming the 두주먹 허리 posture, be careful not to cross the arms or perform the move after straightening the arm forward. We will now practice the moves of Ilyeo third part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of Ilyeo fourth part consist of 오른 앞차기, 왼 뛰어 옆차기, 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기, 오른 지르기, 금강 맞기. 두 주먹 허리, 왼 앞차기, 오른 뛰어 옆차기, and 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기. Ilyeo fourth part starts from the last move of Ilyeo third part, the 두주먹 허리 posture with the feet gathered together. Perform 오른 앞차기 from this position. Be careful not to lift the left heel when kicking. We will now watch the connection from the previous 두주먹 허리 posture to the first move of Ilyeo fourth part. After completing the 오른 앞차기, connect to the 왼 뛰어 옆차기. Lift your body by pulling your left knee above your back the moment your foot touches the ground. Gather your feet, then perform 뛰어 옆차기 with your left foot. Pull the right leg toward the left knee and let it touch. Afterwards, 엇걸어 얼굴 맞기 and 두 손뼉 빗들어 잡아당기기, the key moves of Ilyeo, are repeated once more. Perform these moves remembering what we learned earlier. Then perform 금강 맞기 again, slowly exerting some force into it. Next, move your center to your right foot. Turn 90 degrees to the left using your right ball as an axis. Slowly straighten your body, pull your fists to the back on both sides, and connect to 두주먹 허리 posture. Continue with 왼 앞차기. Lift your body by pulling your right knee above your back the moment your left foot touches the ground. Gather your feet. Then perform 뛰어 옆차기 with your right foot. As with 왼 뛰어 옆차기, pull the left leg toward the right knee and let it touch. Cautions for Ilyeo fourth part. Taking a closer look. When assuming the 두주먹 허리 posture, be careful not to cross the arms or perform the move after straightening the arm forward. When performing 엇걸어 맞기, remember that the arm on the side of the set foot must be on the outside. We will now practice the moves of Ilyeo fourth part in succession while watching the video. This concludes the training for Ilyeo Pumse. We will take another look at all the moves and master Pumse. we have looked at the key moves of Ilyeo Pumse and provided thorough explanations for each move and things to watch out for. You did a fine job reaching the last section of the Pumse, the last stage of Taekwondo training. Cherish the feeling of this moment and continue with your training. You will learn to be able to perfect all the postures and moves. We again commend you for a job well done.